The idea of an Airbus A380neo has been debated for years, and the loudest voice championing it is Emirates, the largest operator of the A380-800. Spearheaded by airline president Sir Tim Clark, the concept imagines a re-engined, more efficient super jumbo with modern fuel-burning technology, potentially cutting fuel consumption by 12 to 14%. For Emirates, it makes perfect sense. Their whole network and brand identity is built on moving huge volumes of passengers through Dubai, and the A380 is central to that strategy. Clark has often argued that with global passenger growth and increasingly congested airports, high-capacity aircraft will be needed again. Yet Airbus remains unmoved. The A380 was originally meant to revolutionize long-haul travel, take on Boeing's dominance and claw away some of the 777 and 747 market share. But shifting airline strategies, volatile fuel prices, and the four-engine layout made it expensive to operate. Its massive size limited it to certain airports, and new generation aircraft offered airlines more flexibility with far less risk. Despite the A380's cult status among passengers, production ended in 2021. Emirates even submitted design proposals this year, offering $20 billion to restart development, but Airbus says the economics simply don't work. Restarting production after shutdown is a colossal challenge. Facilities have been repurposed, suppliers have moved on, and resources would need to be pulled from other profitable programs. One airline's interest is not enough to justify such an investment. Most carriers see the A380 as a short-term stopgap while waiting for delayed next-gen twin jets, not as a long-term fleet solution. Without a broad customer base, Airbus can't break even. And while aviation enthusiasts adore the A380, and even casual passengers love its quiet, spacious cabin, the reality behind the scenes is more complicated. Bloomberg recently reported that keeping the aging super jumbo flying has become an increasingly expensive headache for airlines. Since January 2020, the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, has issued 95 airworthiness directives for the type, roughly double the number for comparable large Boeing jets. These range from routine inspections to more serious issues such as leaking escape slides, cracked seals, and even a ruptured landing gear axle. EASA stresses that safety bulletins should never carry stigma and notes the A380's sheer size makes it more demanding to maintain than twin-engine aircraft. That size also means greater physical stress on the airframe, requiring more frequent checks. And when something does go wrong, the impact can be massive. Bloomberg cited a Qantas A380 flying from Sydney to London that broke down in Singapore due to fuel pump problems, delaying the onward flight by over 24 hours and forcing the airline to book hundreds of hotel rooms for passengers. More recently, another Qantas A380 was delayed for days after a technical fault in Singapore, all while a separate A380 in Sydney was damaged when an aero bridge struck an engine. These incidents highlight just how disruptive it can be when the world's largest passenger jet is grounded. One of the biggest challenges facing the A380 today is that its production line is closed. When Airbus ended the program in 2021, the highly specialized supply chain that kept the world's largest passenger plane in production began winding down. Many of the suppliers that built unique parts for the A380 have since shifted to other projects or exited the market entirely. This means sourcing replacement components can be slower and more expensive, with airlines sometimes needing to place custom orders for parts that are no longer produced in high volumes. For a complex aircraft with 4 engines, enormous landing gear, and vast cabin systems, that lack of manufacturing momentum adds to maintenance delays. Beyond parts availability, the A380's sheer complexity makes it more vulnerable to operational snags. Every system, from hydraulics to avionics, has to support the demands of a double-deck, 500-plus seat aircraft. That means more potential points of failure, and when something does break, the fix is often more involved than on smaller jets. Factor in the reduced global fleet size, and the fact that fewer engineers and maintenance crews are now trained specifically on the A380, and you have a recipe for longer downtimes. These realities make every unscheduled maintenance event a major headache for operators, especially on routes where the A380 is a key part of the schedule. Meanwhile, Airbus is focused elsewhere, expanding the A321neo family, including the long-range XLR, and growing the A350 lineup. These types open new routes profitably and reduce the need for ultra-large aircraft. A next-generation super jumbo isn't on the horizon. For Emirates, that means adapting. The airline is ordering the A350-900 777X and Dreamliner to expand its reach without the risk of filling 500-seat jets. While smaller, these planes offer flexibility and efficiency. The 777X is expected to become their new flagship, though it can't match the A380's capacity. Emirates will still fly the A380 into the early 2040s, almost certainly as the final operator, a fitting end for the world's largest passenger plane. The A380neo remains a dream largely kept alive by Sir Tim Clark. The reality is the same forces that doomed the original, high costs, limited demand, and changing market needs, still apply in 2025. Airbus is moving forward with aircraft that already have strong customer demand. For Emirates, the future may one day bring another high-capacity design, maybe even hydrogen-powered, perfect for slot-restricted airports. Until then, their strategy will evolve, and watching how they navigate a post-A380 world will be fascinating. So, while the A380neo may remain nothing more than a what-if in aviation history, the aircraft's legacy is far from over. Emirates will keep the Super Jumbo in the skies for nearly 2 more decades, while other carriers slowly phase it out. Its challenges are clear, from maintenance headaches to limited market appeal, yet its appeal to passengers is undeniable. The future may never see another aircraft quite like it, but in aviation, you can never say never. Who knows, advances in technology or market shifts could one day bring back the concept of a high-capacity giant. Until then, the A380 remains both a marvel of engineering and a lesson in the realities of airline economics. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for more industry insights, and as always, safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the A380 and want to stay up to date with the latest aviation news, history, and industry analysis, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We cover everything from the biggest aircraft in the skies to the latest airline developments, so you won't miss a thing. Hit that notification bell so you're first to know when new videos drop, and check out our other uploads for more stories just like this.